I want to share with you a really hilarious story. It's the story that man went to the moon. Yes, allegedly man went to the moon. Let's just take a look at the words which were spoken as the first man stepped onto the moon. The words were, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Well, you've got the word giant in there, and you've got a differentiation between man and mankind. There's no differentiation between the creation that God made, which is called man. So it was one small step for man, that's us, and one giant leap for mankind, that's kind of like a man. The tares, the half-breed, subhuman filth that infests this earth and lives here amongst us and looks like us. The abomination that God speaks of, that Jesus Christ died to save us from. The same so-called people, the kind of man that Jesus is coming to destroy and then make them kneel before us. As far as the moon landings are concerned, they never happened. It's impossible for anything living to pass through the Van Allen belt. It will kill you. It will kill anything, any kind of living organism that may try to come in or out. When I was a small child, I remember wanting to get up to see the moon landings, and it was very early in the morning here in the UK. And I remember seeing these so-called moon landings. And I remember questioning them even as a child. I thought there was something wrong about them. Now, since growing up and knowing about Freemasonry, I know that the apron that the astronauts flashed allegedly on the moon was a Masonic apron. It's here on this screen behind me. You can find it on the internet. Everyone saw this. It was all over the news. A Masonic apron. Now, despite the fact that there is no stars in the sky, yet there's no atmosphere on the moon, and they put that down to camera problems. There's also multiple shadows on the astronauts, which couldn't possibly be because the sun only shines from one direction. Yak, yak, yak. What a load of old rubbish. No one ever went to the moon. And the biggest proof that no one went to the moon is the fact that none of the astronauts, the astronauts, ever showed any excitement whatsoever at having gone on the most incredible journey to the moon and back again. So what was it like on the moon? Yeah, well, we adjusted the flight of the spacecraft, and we landed, and then we walked, and then there's no excitement now. If you went to the moon, you would never forget it for the rest of your life. You would be able to tell that story as the most exciting adventure you had ever had in your whole life. You would tell it with the enthusiasm of a second-hand car salesman. You wouldn't sit there and go, "Oh, well, it was so-and-so." You'd say it was amazing, it was fantastic, oh, I was scared, oh, it was fantastic, I remember praying, I remember this, I remember that. There'd be fine detail involved in what you would say. And there is none in anything that these astronauts have said. And the proof, well, it just grows and grows and grows. Besides the fact that they were caught using camera trickery to show how far they were from the Earth, allegedly, there's another small aspect that needs to be taken into account. And that is the fact that in order for propulsion to occur, or for braking, in order for you to stop the inertia or start the inertia, you need equal and opposing forces to be in play. I'll give you a simple example. Now imagine I am in a vacuum. There is no air here, okay? And my hand here is a wall, and it is solid, cannot be moved. And I stand here and I push my body against this wall. I push, I go backwards, but the wall stays still. I push, I go backwards. Now, if I take the wall away and I push, what am I pushing? There's no air there, so I can't push. Okay, even if I put a big fan on my hand and pushed as hard as I liked, nothing would happen because there is no air there. for me to push against. The same applies when swimming. Equal and opposing forces. You're pushing against water, and that is pushing against your body. And I have heard some very, very, very incredibly stupid people say things such as, well, out in space, how a rocket is propelled, the thrust comes out the back, and the thrust pushes against the rocket and the rocket goes along. Oh really, O'Reilly? I don't think so somehow. In that case, you can actually run a jet in a vacuum and make it move in a vacuum. Not possible, because it would be sucking in nothing and blowing out nothing, unlike these people who keep promoting the lies of science, because all they seem to do is suck in cold air and blow out hot air. What a load of rubbish. It's impossible to manoeuvre in space. You need gravity to pull yourself down, and you need thrust to push yourself away. Now, in order to do that, you need to be in some form of atmosphere. Space consists of nothing. It's the same thing that exists in between the ears of people who believe this so-called science. It's not science fact, it's science fiction. Get with the program. It's not real. It's science fiction. Einstein said that time passed quickly when he spent an hour, say, with a pretty young girl, but it went slowly when he was cooking. So time was therefore relative. Well, if you're stupid enough to believe that, you can believe anything, because time is not relative. Time moves at the same speed all the time. You can never go back in it. You can never go anything other than forward at the pace ordained by God. So time is not relative. It's relative to your feelings. Is this exciting or boring? It's exciting, it's over quicker. It's boring, it takes ages. All of these things which are professed as scientific fact are scientific fiction, and it's amazing. It really is astounding how many people believe this claptrap. Equal and opposing forces. It speaks for itself. There is nothing in space to push against. So the thrust cannot push against anything. Therefore it cannot push the rocket away. No. Otherwise you'd see the shuttles performing manoeuvres like loop-the-loop. I wish people would wake up. The moon landings never happened, and everything that you've been told in your entire life has been the most fantastic lie, and it's just going to keep on growing.